When you are wondering what to do, how to feel, what to be, what decisions to make, how to move, how to see clearly, how to make clear choices. A lot of times when you feel that way, you're looking for answers outside of yourself, which is the opposite of where we should go. The answers are always found within. Nothing is really found outside of you. We get caught up in the motions of looking at other people online, I guess me included. This message in my presence here coming to you is just a reminder for you to have something awakened within you that sparks some inspiration, that sparks the answers you seek that are found only within your own mind, only within your own inner guidance system, your inner compass, that inner knowing that we all have to make the choices we need to make from whatever identity we find ourselves in. When we're asking these questions, the answers can always be found in the present moment. Knowing that now is all there is when it comes to time. Oh, time. The real time, the only time that really exists is now. Now is where we're able to make those changes. Now is where you are able to shift into whatever timeline you want to be in. I'm saying this from experience. I'm saying this from having gone through so many different deaths within this past however many months that I've been away from this channel. If this is your first time here, if this is our first time meeting, hello, I'm Akila. And I just felt called to come and share this message for anyone who needs to hear these words, for your own remembrance, for your own clarity, whatever that looks like. Sometimes it's a spark, sometimes it's an aha moment, sometimes it's just a deep inner knowing that will open the floodgates for any inspiration that you need to move forward. When we're thinking of what we should do, when we're thinking of where we should go and how we should have the best life that we want to have, we can be stuck in the moments of searching for answers out there, searching for some sort of confirmation, some sort of validation, some sort of answer that is really just the confirmation that we already have within ourselves. What you already believe, what your dominant thoughts are the mirror that you end up seeing in the world. And so if you don't like where you are, if you don't like what you're seeing, then you have to change what's in here and what's in here and what's in here. Life is just one huge mirror, right? And I say all of this because I understand within the changes that have happened in my own life, from the time that I've taken from the last video that I posted to now, this present moment, I have died many deaths, which is what it takes, honestly. It takes for you to be able to let go and continue letting go and let go over and over and over again, to allow the triggers to come, to allow what is not serving you to come and look at it and face it and sit with it so that you can let it flow down the river. The more we resist, the more it persists. I know that rhymes, but I've been telling myself that as I go through life, right, there's a point where you have knowing, you have the answers, you have some sort of enlightenment. And a lot of times we think that that enlightenment means that we are just able to shift and we're going to be in this new identity and everything's going to be fine and sunshine and rainbows and it's going to be great and things will just fall away and they'll just be gone. But the reality is that what you're being tasked with letting go of, you'll have to keep letting go of it, especially when it's a big thing, especially when it's a part of an old identity that has been your identity for so long. It's going to take time to shift out of that consciousness, to shift out of those habits, to shift out of that recurring mindset that was a part of that identity as many times as you need to for you to fully step into the power of wherever you're trying to go. A lot of the things that are coming up, think of them as gifts. These gifts that are being given for you to see the truth of what is there. Because these are the things that cannot come with you on that next phase, on that next chapter. And the fact that they're still coming up is not a punishment. It's not a reprimand. They're gifts for you to see what it is you need to let go of. And you can only let go of it when you acknowledge it, when you have awareness of it, when you're able to see and really see what it is without shoving it away. A lot of times when something comes up, a thought or a memory or a habit that doesn't fit the mold that you're trying to fit into, this new identity, this new phase, this new consciousness that you see is a better fit. A lot of times when these things come up, we're just given the task to, it's difficult. It's a little difficult to understand, but once you understand it, it makes so much sense. We're given the task to sit with it, to allow it to be there, so that we can see that it's just a thing. It's just a thought. It's just a memory. Because like I said before, the only real time that exists is the present moment. And so if you're thinking of something that happened in the past and it keeps coming up and it seems like a blockage, the only way to move through it and to move past it and to cross the bridge into another form, another state of being, another understanding, is to acknowledge it and say that it's okay. It's okay that it's there. I'm speaking to someone who is passionate about change. There are many people on this earth who are comfortable with recurring thoughts, who are comfortable with thinking the way that they've always thought, thinking that that's just the way that it is. When the reality is that you are the creator. You get to create what your thoughts are. You get to create the way you show up in the world. You get to create your beliefs. Just because you believe something doesn't mean you have to continue believing it. You know? It's quite simple. It's a difficult task to grasp when it's new. A lot of times when it happens, when things come up in our lives to acknowledge, we want to push them away. We want to think that it shouldn't be happening. Oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way because I've accepted that I want to feel another way. But the challenge is having it come up and not being attached to it, just acknowledging that it's there, being an observer. an observer of the painting that you are consciously shifting and creating in motion at all times. And so when this happens, having that awareness, having that knowledge of seeing the thought, seeing the thing, seeing the trigger, and just looking at it like a random object. But the truth is that none of our triggers are random. They're there to teach us. They're there to teach us what's still there, what still needs to be let go of. Because once you can let go of it, once you can acknowledge it, once you can accept that it's there, is the moment you can fully release. Once these triggers come up, once these thoughts come up, these memories of things that are still in the way, they arise for us to see, and you're able to just sit with it for a little bit, be a little curious, like, that's interesting, still coming up, okay, and just take a deep breath in that moment. The breath is your anchor. Breath is your friend. Breath is your reminder that you're still alive, that you still have what it takes, no matter where you are, no matter what phase you're in on the scale of what it takes to move from X to Y to Z. This is a moment where you can take charge through taking charge of your breath. Currently, I'm in the Dominican Republic. It's so loud here. No matter where I go, there's always noise. There's always motorcycles, motor cars, loud engines, loud music. It's very vibrant country here. Very vibrant nation. And it's taught me a lot. Being here has taught me a lot. Being here has allowed me to go through those different depths and go through those different phases. So when you come to a place where you know you want to embody a different version of yourself, embody a higher version of yourself, the course to fully embodying that version is to not fight what comes up when you're swimming through the current, to not fight the waves. If you try to fight the waves, that's how you drown, right? And so getting to a point where you can accept what's happening, to float, to be a part of the ocean that we all come from. And when I say that I've died many deaths, it's that constant death that you have to accept and allow to happen in order to live in a different way. The death that happens when you fully accept, when you fully let go, you're going to be tired. It's work. It takes a lot of energy. And then a lot of energy is being released when you let go. The energy of your old identity, the energy of the ways that you used to make choices, the energy of the awareness that you have of these things that no longer fit, that need to be released. Continue to release and release and release. What happens when you die? When your physical body dies, when your spiritual body dies, there's a huge release of energy. And we have to allow that to happen in whatever ways that looks like. For me, it was sleep and saying no to things that I used to say yes to, and just allowing myself to process, sitting down, breathing, meditating, dancing, moving the energy around, and dying, building graves, singing songs of grief to this old version that needed to die. Because in order for new life to be born, something has to die. There's no in between, really. The in-between space, the liminal space, that purgatory space is where you'll be when you're not willing to let go, when you're not willing to die. It has to happen in order for you to live in the new way that you want to. That grand rebirth that happens when you can fully let go. Fully. Trusting, surrendering, not knowing what's coming around the corner. When you're born as a little baby, do you have a chart? Do you have a checklist of things that you expect to happen? No. You're completely dependent on your caregivers, whether that be your parents or caregivers that you were given through universal alignment. People who are sent to you to teach you, to help you grow, to nourish you. Dependent on those people. Dependent on the universe to provide for you. Trusting in the unknown, not being able to know what that nourishment is, but recognizing it when it comes, because you have awareness of what you don't want, which is the contrast, and awareness of what your new self absolutely wants. Things that you can recognize and see, yes, that is for me. That is for my new self. And you just take it one step at a time. This message is for those of us who see the patterns in ourselves, in the world at large, in our environment, in our communities, in our friend groups that need to be broken. This message is for the chain breakers, the rule breakers, the disruptors who have come here to shift, who have come here to change, who have come here to find a better way to commune with the all-knowing, with the all-seeing eye, to connect with the infinite, to connect with the flow of the world that is beneficial for the world, to step into a higher version of yourself who is comfortable being seen, who is comfortable helping others by helping yourself. That's the only way. People can tell if you're just preaching and you are telling people what to do and giving advice, but you're not following your own advice. People can tell. And so for me, for the longest time, I took a break from coming here and speaking and giving advice of what I was learning, because I was fully in the motions of living what I was prescribing to everyone else. There's a moment where you have to just be down in the dumps. You have to be in that ugly, messy, what do we call it? The dark night of the soul. Not everything is meant to be televised and shared, but we can do our best to give advice from a place of being grounded, from a place of having lived through the advice that you give and wanting to share it from the other side of the bridge, saying, okay, I have crossed the bridge. Here's what I did. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't. Hopefully I'm able to share a lot more of that with you here. Now that I feel a lot more comfortable coming and sitting with you and sharing with you and transmuting in this way. It is an honor, and I know that through my deepest discernment, through my deepest hopes and my heart's strings that are being pulled out through this system, through the void that we have this channel that we have to share our messages and share our experiences and be connected in this way that is just amazing. This moment in time that we have to be connected in all different parts of the world, to share in this way with the hopes that it reaches the ears that it's meant to reach. Over time, I have strengthened my voice, using it a lot more in ways that feel good to me, to be able to translate what needs to be translated while I still have life, while I still have a message to share, in whatever ways it comes, whether it be through my voice, through the written word, and there are so many ways, right? So now the task is for you to look within. Instead of searching for answers outside of you. Of course, there are signs, there are synchronicities that you listen to, that you notice, different patterns that are calling you and telling you things that only you can understand. I know when I open different forms of social media, I've curated who I'm following and what I'm seeing in such a way that anytime I open it, it's a deep message that I needed, instead of some random account or something that makes me feel weird. If you're following any account that makes you feel strange, stop following them. If it makes you feel down, if it makes you feel discouraged, if it makes you get to change that. You get to create what you're seeing. You get to create how you're feeling. You don't have to follow accounts that make you feel anxiety, that make you feel like you need to run and hide. The information and the access we have within these systems are there for our progression. And so you can follow accounts, and you can listen to different audiobooks, and you can listen to podcasts, and you can follow different TikTok accounts. I don't know if we're supposed to say that word, whatever. Follow different accounts that help you. Follow different accounts that make you feel inspired, that are different reflections of the version of yourself you want to become, and not the version of yourself that you've been. That version is dead and is going to continue to die as you make these changes. You have to let that happen. Have to. If you want to move forward, if you want to meet this new version of yourself, if you want to meet a higher version of yourself, the lower versions have to die. And they'll keep coming up, like I said earlier, and it has nothing to do with whether you're doing it right or wrong. They're just messages. It's just information for you to acknowledge, to accept, and release. That's it. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know in the comments of things that you would like to know and you would like to hear based off of the knowledge that we've shared so far. And so this feels really good. It feels really good to come back here and to continue this dialogue of what works, what I found that works, and hopefully finding like minds, of minds and souls who are passionate about wanting to change, wanting to shift, wanting to be a lighthouse in a dark world. So many of us are able to mask and move throughout life as though things are fine. When you have found that your truth is telling you things are not that fine, and that there are changes that need to be made, and that there are different things that you are being called to remember, this is a space for you. And I hope that we can continue to do that together. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about sharing my voice in a way that is going to resonate with people who can only understand specific topics that ring bells in your ear, a remembering of your soul. To come back to the truth of who you are, to come back to a place of wholeness when you feel broken, when you have been in a broken world, in a broken system. There's always a way to be whole, to be a leader. And we can do that together. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, for resonating, and yeah, let me know if there's anything that you're curious about, that you can feel within your heart that I may have some insight about. And I'll be happy to share. Until next time, I'm excited to get this going again. There's so much more that I have to share with you, and I hope to see you back here next time.